Hi, I'm Lauren Pickett, and today I will be talking about the importance of student athletes in colleges to maintain their mental and physical fitness during the off-season of their sports, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. During the pandemic of COVID-19, almost all collegiate sports across the nation have been postponed until further notice. This means that there is a vast number of college athletes who are now in their off-season and do not have a set plan of action on how to maintain their trained mind and their bodies to remain at their peak. I propose that college sports teams create and integrate a virtual physical fitness accountability system for their players in their off seasons in order to certify that all of their athletes are remaining mentally and physically in optimal shape. Collegiate athletes during this time of COVID have been given a surprise off season and are not properly prepared with how to maintain their levels of fitness and health and need a set regimen and accountability program to assist them. With this in place, there will be no deficit within collegiate athletics level of play once athletics return. College athletes are not prepared in how to maintain their physical and mental levels of fitness now that they have been issued a surprise off-season due to the coronavirus. The global virus, COVID-19, began heavily impacting and affecting people in the early spring of 2020, this year. Due to this, many new recommendations and mandates were created regarding the social distancing of individuals across the United States. The World Health Organization kept track of many statistics regarding the pandemic. World Health Organization, WHO, reported that over 1 million cases of COVID-19 had been confirmed worldwide, a more than 10-fold increase in less than a month. This was according to Timeline. This statistic was made as of April 4th, 2020, and has increased astronomically since. This was long before any collegiate sport divisions had made a decision of whether or not to have a season. According to NCAA.com, the D1 Board of Directors met Friday and will work towards hosting scaled-back fall sports championship in the spring of 2021. So this means that already Division I athletics through NCAA has decided that the championships for these fall athletics will be postponed to 2021. So why even have a season? Well, due to the effects of COVID-19 and the protocols issued, most college athletic seasons have been completely postponed to the spring of 2021. And like we read before, all Division I championships will be postponed until the spring of 2021. This means that any sports that would typically be playing in the fall now have an off-season that they were not prepared for. This change could be very harmful for the student athletes if the right measures are not taken. Not keeping up with their physicality and game-like mentality will not only cause the individual athletes to suffer, but also the entire collegiate sports team and the college's reputation. What a person does in their own downtime will propel them to be the best when the pressure is on. Therefore, if student athletes are not training properly during the pandemic-induced off-season, they will not be ready to perform when it's finally game time. These collegiate athletes have the honor and the gift of being able to stand on a stage bigger than themselves while playing the games that they love. I mean, what else could be better? That's your favorite thing. Imagine if your favorite thing is eating a bagel with cream cheese and coffee in the morning. That's my favorite thing. And then being said, hey, I'm going to ask you to do this year-round, and I'm going to pay for your education while you're at it, as long as you commit to be the best that you can and do what you do, eat that bagel and coffee every morning. And I'm also going to give you all these perks. I'm going to give you merchandise. I'm going to give you free trips so that you can go and do this here and there. That is such a gift, the thing that I love to be able to do this. So that's what these collegiate athletes have in their hands. So this off season, they need to take very seriously. That can be taken away. That gift can be taken away from them. These collegiate athletes, again, they have the honor and the gift of being able to stand on a stage bigger than themselves while playing the games that they love. Student athletes have a rare and unique opportunity to represent an institution in competition at a high level. And if the student does not take the off-season seriously, then they will be disrespecting their institution and jeopardizing their chances of continuing their athletic career. Now, why is this important? This is important to maintain athletic progress because it's much easier to stay in shape than to get back into shape. These collegiate athletes, they need to remain at the top optimal shape that they can be in, their physical peak, in order to come back on the ground running in the spring if it continues like it's proposed in the spring. If not, then they're going to face a huge deficit. Without a plan of action and accountability for these collegiate athletes, they will face a serious deficit in stamina, in their skill, and their overall ability to play at the level that they should be playing at. So, what should happen? Well, coaches, the athletic trainers, and the nutritionists, the ones who would help them decide what to eat, when to eat, how to eat it, at each college with an athletic program should put together an off-season program that meets the individual athletes on each team physical, mental, and nutritional needs. Each program should have a system of accountability worked into it, whether by student athletes having a fitness tracker, maybe something that they wear, maybe something that an app that they download on their phone that tracks everything. Maybe they need to be screenshotting in data from those fitness trackers if it's on their phone, or if it's something that the meal that they have logged into. Maybe they need to send it into their coaches or their trainer, their nutritionist. And maybe it's working out with a teammate that they're already living or quarantining with, someone who can help push them to be the best that they can be in those individual workouts. Now, the programs that the coaches and the trainers send out, they should have video instructions so that it feels like it's real time and it's real practices, as well as maybe having some interactive meetings to ensure that the athletes are truly following the plan and they're not just trying to seem like they are because they want a break. What happens if we do? What happens if we do this? If this can come to fruition within college athletics nationally, then we can enjoy watching our student athletes play at their best when these sporting events roll back around. Now, this will be rewarding for the athletes, but it'll also be rewarding for the fans to watch. The reaping of these rewards with the outcome of preparation during the off-season will boost and encourage so many student athletes after a very difficult and sad season in their life. The U.S. Census Bureau recently reported that 1/3 of Americans show signs of clinical depression and anxiety. These and other mental conditions are becoming amplified during the recent pandemic, while COVID-19 patients and their families are also at a high risk to developing depression and anxiety. Society is facing a very difficult mental and emotional battle during the pandemic, and this does not exclude our collegiate student athletes. We need to keep a close eye on their overall health and ensure that they come out on the other side better than ever. Now, what happens if we don't ensure that we are doing a plan, a program to hold them accountable with their fitness? Well, if those in charge of leading student athletes do not work diligently to create a system for the athletes to remain in prime shape during the off-season, then sports during the spring will be a huge disappointment for everyone involved. Student athletes will be physically unfit, mentally not prepared, and disappointed with themselves. And fans of the sports will lose interest due to how poorly the athlete's skill and stamina and play of the game is. And then decrease in fans results in money lost for the school, which could turn into budget cuts, which ultimately is the loss of athletic teams from the colleges. In conclusion, it is integral that the off-season, specifically the unexpected one given because of COVID-19, be taken seriously and given maximum effort in keeping the student athletes on top of their health and fitness. Collegiate sports teams must create a plan for their athletes to ensure that they remain physically fit and mentally prepared, because this can make or break the future of college athletics.